We're living in the final part of the last days, undoubtedly, the final part of the final part of the last days.
This is the end of the world. This is the end of the world.
Hello and welcome to the Last Days Livestream, the show that brings welcome levity to the end of the world, lifting the spirits of many of you battling boredom, loneliness or anxiety by infecting as many as possible with comfort and distraction as the apocalypse unfolds. 59 of you here waiting across platforms, across Facebook, Twitch and YouTube. So welcome to all of you. Jenza Hansen says, first live stream I have actually been on time for. It is nearly 8 a.m. in Seattle. Hello, Lloyd and everyone. Welcome, Jenza. Lovely to have you with us. We have Trishian. Hello, hope everyone is well. Yes, please. Please be surviving and well and healthy, everyone. We have Like a Fox, aka Amanda, who is actually also in the green room, ready to be unleashed on the internet shortly. Good morning, afternoon, all you lovely apostates. Renato also lurketh. He's actually, how dare he? He's doing his regular day job at this time, so he can't join us until later, meaning that you're stuck with me as both the quiz host and the quiz moderator. Honestly, I'm not looking forward to it. Renato does such a great job of keeping the teams in check, and now it all falls to me to lay down the law. Goodness me, what will become of us? Capricorn Moon says, hello everyone, hope you're all well and staying safe. Yes, safeness, safety is the key here, everyone. We have Ali Dowd here. Greetings from Scotland. We also have Cindy Arnold with us. Hi, everyone. Hope everyone is well. I'm just going to scroll forward and see how many people are commenting on the hat. Yes, Susan Brewer. Love the hat. Who else is commenting on the hat? Lisa Burberry. Love the cool hat, Lloyd. And Trishan Wright as well. Look, it arrived in a package from dear old Blighty from some friends of ours in Swansea. So yes, we were very, very pleasantly surprised to open up this package. And what better way to join in the festive spirit than to wear some festive headgear. And with all that out of the way, let me just do a bit of reading from How to Escape from Jehovah's Witnesses by yours truly. I'm trying to rattle through the segments because we've got a lot on today's show. Think of today's show as like a Christmas special. We're going to have lots of music, we're going to have the quiz, and we're going to have maybe 3 or 4 segments. Oh, it's busy. Do I even read any of this? I'll read to the first heading. There we go. The chapter is headed, Protect Your Privacy Online. Likely you are already familiar with the need for a degree of caution when using the internet. You do not need me to tell you that opening the wrong kind of email can result in your computer getting infected with a virus or malware. You know that divulging too much personal information can result in hackers stealing your identity. But when you're in the process of escaping Jehovah's Witnesses, the internet carries an added danger. The threat of your apostasy being discovered by witness, friends and relatives, and judicial action being launched against you by elders before you are ready to formally break ties. The trouble is that despite these risks, the internet is also your lifeline. It is likely the source from which you have uncovered information debunking once cherished beliefs, thus starting you on the path to freedom. It is also a crucial resource for connecting with others in your situation and keeping up to date as to ex-witness meetups and events. So how can you eliminate the risks of the internet while continuing to enjoy the benefits? Of course, it could be that you do not mind whether you are discovered or not, because you are either disassociated or have resolved to disassociate soon. But if you are anxious to keep your apostasy below the radar for the time being, the following tips are worthy of your consideration when browsing online ex-witness content. I'm just going to say the names of the subheadings and then we'll go into more detail in future shows. The first subheading is use a pseudonym. Second is manage your use of browsers and devices. Third is exercise caution with email. And fourth is consider having an alibi ready. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to skip those subheadings because I think they're fairly self-explanatory. And maybe in our next show, skip right to the end where I talk a little bit about undercover activism. That out of the way, I just need to quickly check what my audio is doing because I suspect... I am on the correct audio, that's fine. Meaning that I can unleash the full power of my truly fearsome panel. We have Javier Ortiz, we have Sasha D'Souza, we have Amanda, and we have Sherry D'Souza. Welcome all, and Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Jingle Bells.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
I see Sherry got the memo about wearing a Christmas hat. No one else seems to have obeyed my instructions.
I have a hat at the ready.
Well, thank you, Amanda. Better late than never.
I
I
wouldn't
can just
want
lay it
to
on
have-
over my headset.
You see, it's only by listening and obeying that we can be blessed on this show.
Sorry.
So-
I refuse to obey. I'm sorry.
You're a rebel.
Now, we have a lot of segments because we have Javi here to do his movie review, and we have a full deck of D'Souza's. But we also have an absent panelist who has sent in a video for Singalong purposes.
Oh,
So,
this
The only
sounds
reason I got up this morning.
this
So-
sounds scary.
what the heck? If we haven't already broken the internet, get ready, hold on to your pants. It's time for Sing Along with Arthur. Yes, there he is, smiling at us, ready to inflict a performance upon our persons. I'm just going to do the share screen and see what we're in for here. Okay, are you all seeing that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so without further ado, allow me to very proudly introduce Arthur Weber and his rendition of the Christmas classic, Merry Christmas, everyone.
Snow is falling all around me. Children playing, having fun. It's the season, love and understanding. Merry Christmas, everyone. Time for parties and celebrations. People dancing all night long. Time for presents and exchanging kisses. Time for singing Christmas songs. We're gonna have a party tonight. I'm gonna find that girl underneath the mistletoe. We'll kiss by candlelight. Room is swaying, records playing, all the old songs we love to hear. All I wish that every day was Christmas. What a nice way to spend the year.
Oh, sorry. He's doing air sax. I missed that.
The best time.
Very impressive. And he's doing the shooby-doo-ups.
That's actually fabulous.
Those are some of the best shooby-doo-ups I think I've ever seen.
We're gonna
That's a Motown
have a
groove on
party
it.
tonight. I'm gonna find that girl underneath the mistletoe. We'll kiss by candlelight. Snow is falling all around me. Children playing, having fun.
Those
It's the
fans.
season of love and understanding.
They're cult followers.
Merry Christmas, everyone. Merry Christmas, everyone. Merry Christmas, everyone.
Best ever.
So that was, yeah, I think one of the best. Oh God, he's still singing on my speakers. That was one of the best, undoubtedly, Sing Along with Arthurs I think we've ever had on the show.
That was pretty
Arthur,
good.
that was awesome. That was
Yeah.
awesome.
Out of a long line of successful Sing Along with Arthurs, it should be said.
Yes, and we got to skip the lengthy intro.
Maybe that's why. I'm just going to put it out there. Maybe the lack of lengthy monologue at the beginning actually aided its quality.
Hint.
Now, we have had those who have watched the live stream who feel that we pick on poor Arthur unnecessarily.
No one thinks that. Nobody thinks that.
In his
Come on.
absence, come on, we can't pick on him. Arthur, come on, weigh in. You've got the link.
Many thanks to Lisa Burberry for the super chat, for making my day. Very glad to hear that, Lisa. It's the
Didn't
least
say-
we could do.
Well, she didn't say what we were making her day. ...
I can only look. I'm going to take any positive I can get. We've just done a sing along with Arthur, and it has elicited appreciation. So I consider my job here done. But it isn't fully done because we absolutely must have at this juncture some poetry. Sorry, wrong panelist. Sorry about that. I do get confused sometimes.
Well, that got you worried, didn't it?
I need a producer.
Oh,
Sorry.
Amanda. Oh, man. Well, look, I don't know how I'm possibly going to keep up with what Arthur's just done. So in advance, I apologise, everyone. But remembering the theme of what's brought us all together throughout our life, that's what sort of spurred this poem on. So here we go. Old man glasses have to go on. All right. Flashes of new light shine down from the throne, dispensed via the faithful slave class, the governing body alone. At least that's the claim those pompous eights say, as they control the lives of JWs every day. They claim to speak for the Almighty, most high above, yet act in a toxic manner devoid of any love. They dictate commands and expect complete obedience from all in their flock, and they tolerate no deviance. No doubts about teachings or questioning is ever permitted. No blame is accepted for falsehoods or mistakes ever admitted. No, they expect blind adherence, yet take no responsibility for their man-made organisation with all its fallibility, an organisation that has ruined the lives of millions over the years by indoctrination of its members through guilt, obligation and fears. Yet as many awaken to the GB's fickle claims of power, a great multitude keep walking away every day, yes, every hour. They've researched the reality of the truth about the truth and come out to reclaim freedom with the eagerness of youth. For all these brave ones, you have support to actively employ, dignity to live authentically, fear-free with heartfelt joy.
Beautiful. Well done, Sasha. I can see lots of effort has gone into that, and I'm sure Sherry was with you every step of the way as you honed those lyrics, those prose, I should say. And one person who really appreciates the show thus far is a governing body member.
Thanks, Toad.
Saving on my liquors to make this contribution to a life-saving cause, de-indoctrination. Tony, I knew you would come round eventually. So thank you for pitching in a little bit of your ice cream money.
Yeah, cheers to that, Tony. The bottle's in the mail.
Now, of course, sometimes when people like Tony go to Bottle King, it's because they need comfort and they are seeking it in all the wrong places. But here on the Last Days live stream, we believe in finding comfort in all the right places, and one of those places is a corner that belongs to Sherry. Sherry's Comfort Corner. Oh, sorry. I keep doing this. I do keep doing this. I apologise. Sorry. I thought it was Amanda's segment for a moment there. Sorry. Yeah.
Right, so we have sharks and moving cameras. All right, we are romping through the segments at record pace in this live stream today. So I will keep the pace up. From our Recovering from Religion support group that we had whenever it was, hours ago, we actually had a really great discussion with everybody that was there about reframing words and redefining it so that it's not so much of a trigger to us. And one of the discussions we had was about the word prayer. And from that discussion came this, which I thought, well, that's Comfort Corner just taken care of. Viewers will remember that we've spoken about self-compassion several times. So in a similar vein, a lot of you may have heard of the work of Louise Hay, and her website's very easy, louisehay.com. But she talks about mirror work, like mirror, mirror on the wall, that kind of stuff, mirror work. So mirror work, what is it? She says on the website, it's the most effective method I've found for learning to love yourself and see the world as a safe and loving place. And it's by, when you look at yourself in the mirror, saying affirmations. And basically it's like self-talk, it's dialogue in your head, but you're verbalizing it. So these affirmations on the website, it says, are messages to your subconscious that establish habitual ways of thinking and behaving. Positive affirmations plant healing thoughts and ideas that support you in developing self-confidence and self-esteem and creating peace of mind and inner joy. The most powerful affirmations are those you say out loud when you're in front of your mirror. Because the mirror reflects back to you the feelings you have about yourself, it makes you immediately aware of where you are resisting and where you are open and flowing. It clearly shows you what thoughts you will need to change if you want to have a joyous, fulfilling life. And as you learn to do mirror work, you will become much more aware of the words you say and the things you do. You will learn to take care of yourself on a deeper level than you have done before. So as an example, she says that when something good happens in your life, you can go to the mirror and say, thank you, that's terrific, thank you for doing this. If something bad happens to you, you can go to the mirror and say, okay, I love you. This thing that just happened will pass, but I love you and that's forever. For most of us, sitting in front of a mirror and facing ourselves is a bit difficult at first. So she calls that process mirror work. But as you continue, you become less self-critical and the work turns into mirror play. Very soon, your mirror becomes your companion, a dear friend instead of an enemy. So it goes on from there. You can look at the website for more details on how mirror work can function or work. But I think the idea is quite clear that it's in the same vein of that self-compassion, that caring for yourself and helping yourself through situations, but also congratulating yourself for the successes that you have and for things that are done well. So it's getting you into that frame of mind. So there you go. There's Comfort Corner today on how we can all comfort ourselves.
Sherry getting her comfort game tight there. And Jenza Hansen says, Sherry, way to go. I need this. It's me says, great advice. Tony Morris says, Sherry for helper of the teaching committee. And Nil Dreams 1975 says, Louise Hayes' videos helped me through a recent bout of depression. So certainly some very useful information there.
Yeah. I hadn't heard of her before, actually. I had not heard of her before until the session we had this morning. And shout out to those that came along this morning. It really was fantastic. It was such a positive support group, the meeting that we had. It was just it was fantastic. I'm still getting a buzz from it.
And it's all in the line of that thing that we've spoken about many times before, that particularly through our journey of waking up from the cold, we're so used to supporting other people that sometimes we fail to support ourselves. You know, we've got to treat ourselves the way we would a best friend or somebody else that's going through a point of turmoil in life. So there's nothing wrong with that, because we were so used to just thinking of ourselves as being nothing when we were in the cold. We were so used to thinking that we were just good-for-nothing slaves, and we wouldn't give ourselves that support that we might be inclined to give others. So there's nothing wrong with taking care of ourselves through this journey out of a religion.
Indeed. Words of wisdom there. Thank you very much, Sherry. Now we have one more segment to go before it's time for this week's Last Days quiz. And I can reveal that we have a halftime show lined up by a mystery performer.
Ooh.
So stay tuned for that. But right now, what we need is a movie review. Sorry, I thought it was Amanda's movie review. I honestly, my head is screwed on backwards today. I can only apologize.
No disclaimer on this one, okay? This is brought to you by Apricot Scrub.
Oh, is it official now?
And I am using the Apricot.
Oh, because you're using it, of course.
Yes.
Okay. And do you find that it softens your skin? Because we all struggle sometimes with that oily, greasy skin.
Absolutely.
And it ruins your mood. It ruins your confidence, don't you think?
No, I think it's you silky smooth like a baby's butt, but don't go around touching baby's butt.
Just a quick disclaimer: the Last Days live stream does in no way endorses touching babies anywhere, especially if it's not your baby. But try to avoid the butt cheeks.
Endorses Pepper font. Absolutely, use it as much as you can wherever you can. So my review, today's review, right? Is this the last broadcast before Christmas?
This is the last one of 2020, and then we break.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then, it's opportune. My review is top 5 Christmas movies specifically for XJWs.
Ooh.
Oh, cool.
Ooh, timely.
So I'll tell you why I like them and why I think they're good for JW. So I'll start with my first one. And my fellow Brits on the broadcast will appreciate this one because it's based on Charles Dickens' classic, A Christmas Carol. And it's okay. So there's several versions of this one. The one I'm talking about is the 2009 3D computer animated one directed by Robert Zemeckis, who, by the way, makes another appearance in this list. And it stars Jim Carrey as Ebenezer Scrooge. I said Cruise, like he's related to Tom Cruise.
One of Tom Cruise's children.
The reason I like this movie is because in the book it's a little bit different, but the film, it's not about religion, right? It's about Ebenezer Scrooge's life, and the moral of the story is basically charity and goodwill, which is what the spirit, quote unquote, the spirit of Christmas should be about, right? But it's one of those films where if you're an XJW, you can watch it and there's nothing religious about it. You know, you get the purely almost a secular vision of what Christmas should be. So if you've never celebrated Christmas before, then this is like a good intro into how to do it and feel good about it. My second pick, and Lloyd, you know that I am a proponent that once you become an XJW, you should definitely catch up on all of your violent rated R films that you've missed throughout all of your life.
Javi is obsessed with particularly gangster films where people do hideous things to each other, and he will shame you and guilt you if you haven't watched all of them. Just a quick heads up.
If they hadn't been banned, I probably wouldn't care about it. But because we were not allowed to watch them, it was my only act of rebellion. And damn it if I can't watch a rated R movie today. But here we go. It's directed by John McTiernan and Sasha.
Uh-oh.
Have we lost Javi? Javi, come back to us. Javi, I'm trying to use my Jedi powers. You will come back to us.
It's
Is
the
he
rated
there?
R films that have done it.
You see, it's Satan interfering with our show.
Has
Yeah,
he?
there we- oh, is he
there
back?
He moved.
Oh,
There you
I
are.
could hear you guys the whole time.
No,
Oh.
we couldn't hear you. We lost
Oh,
you.
so what'd you miss?
Second,
Like
where-
Macaulay Culkin and his parents, we lost you temporarily there.
We need that second film again from the beginning.
Oh, so it's Die Hard.
Ah, of course, Christmas.
Die Hard, directed by John McTiernan. And I was saying, it's written by a Steven DeSouza. Any relation to the DeSouzas? I guess not.
Depends. If you like the film, yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's a great film. So it stars Bruce Willis as John McClane, right? A New York City detective who's trying to make good with his estranged wife around Christmas time until some Germans, Hans Gruber, some German terrorists, take over the building, and then Bruce Willis as John McClane kicks ass for the rest of the film. And there's a bunch of really cool, cheesy lines from 80 movies that, we incorporate into our daily lives. And Yippee-ki-yay, mother effer.
There's a line you never expected to hear from someone wearing Sentive's skin lotion.
Yes, exactly. And actually, there's a little homework assignment for you all. You have to find an opportunity this Christmas to use that line whenever you can.
Okay.
Okay? I want reports next week.
Maybe in the line at the grocery store. Is that an appropriate time?
That's the perfect place to do it. So the third one is the Polar Express. And again, Robert Zemeckis makes an entry into this list. And it stars Tom Hanks. It's another 3D animated film. And the reason I think it's cool for JWs is because the film is about skepticism and faith. It's a little boy who begins to doubt the existence of Santa Claus. And basically, the rest of the film, Tom Hanks is trying to convince him that he's real. But it's also the first Christmas film that I watched with my own kids, and they love this film. So it's got a little special place in my heart. So I recommend definitely check out The Polar Express. Number 2 on the list is A Christmas Story, directed by Bob Clark and Jeannie Shepard. And this one's cool. Have you guys anybody on the panel watch this one?
I've seen it. It's a good movie.
It's a classic, right? It's like
I love it.
It's one of the few movies that I watched as a kid. I used to kind of sneak off whenever, because they had like marathons on Christmas Day when I was in school. And so yeah, it's close to my heart. But it's about a little boy named Ralphie Parker who all he wants for Christmas is a Red Ryder carbine action 200 shot range model air rifle.
Doesn't
Pretty specific, that really.
It's very specific because he mentioned it like 5 times in the film. Every time he brings it up, some adult will tell him, "No, you can't have that. You'll shoot your eye out." And so basically, the rest of the film is about the mischief that this little boy and his friends get into, and it's about everything that can go wrong for a 9-year-old boy around Christmas time. And it's a classic. I highly recommend it. You can watch this one with your kids. Adults will get a good laugh out of it. So here's number 1, and this is the GOAT, greatest of all time, the number 1 Christmas film. And before I say which one it is, Lloyd, if you've queued that up, I'd love to show a clip. If not, I can play it.
Oh, sorry, was I supposed to queue something up?
Yeah, in the private chat.
Oh, damn it, I've not even been paying attention to the private chat. Oh, God.
No, it's just your show, Lloyd. I mean,
Now I'm feeling all stressed out. This is not helping my relaxation levels.
Just talk yourself through it, Lloyd. You'll be fine.
Move
friend,
tab
not
to new
Home Alone.
window. Oh, right. Okay. Bear with me 1 second. And
Javier, you know how much he loves to do a share screen.
Jesus, this is so stressful. There's nothing more stressful in the universe than being set upon with a share screen request.
The folks
But
at St.
I have
Isaac-
triumphed regardless. And here we go.
Like skunk. Oh, I'm sorry. This house is just crazy. We've got all these extra kids running around. My brother-in-law drove in from Ohio today. It's just nuts.
How come you didn't bring more cheese pizzas?
Nice tip. Thanks a lot.
Thanks.
Having a reunion or something?
Oh, no, my husband's brother transferred to Paris last summer, and both of his kids are still going to school here, and I guess he missed the whole family. He's giving us all this trip to Paris for the holidays so we can be together.
You're taking a trip to Paris.
Yes, we hope to leave tomorrow morning.
Excellent.
If you'll excuse me, this one's a little out of sorts. I'll be right back.
Don't worry about me. I spoke to your husband already. And don't worry about your home. It's in good hands.
This is my favorite
15
part.
people in this house. You're the only one who has to make choices.
That's.
Love
I'm
it.
gonna cut it now because otherwise I'm gonna get done for copyright.
Oh, wait, did you do that? Oh, I'm sorry.
No,
Anyway, that part was the one I wanted to show you. Was that part where he talks to his mom?
Oh, sorry. Sorry. There's also an element of moving the show along. while
Okay,
we
no,
still have you.
cool. No, it's no problem. But anyway, the reason I think it's a couple of reasons why I think it's a great film. One, it's directed by Chris Columbus. It's got a beautiful score, Lloyd. I know you like music and score.
John Williams.
Stuff like that. Great score. And John Williams-esque. Did John Williams do this?
John Williams did the Home
Oh.
Alone score because in The Rise of Skywalker, there's a part where they give John Williams a walk-on role, and in tribute to all of his films, J.J. Abrams put something behind in the scene behind him, referencing each one of the films he's done the score to, and Home Alone was one of them.
Oh, well, it's a classic score.
Yeah.
Everybody loves it. I think it pretty much makes the film. But it's also written by the late John Hughes, who's like a great writer behind many of the classic 80s films that we all love. It stars Macaulay Culkin, Joe Pesci, the great Catherine O'Hara, who's awesome for you Schitt's Creek's fans.
Yeah.
But the reason I think it's great for XJWs is because, one, in that scene that we just watched, where he pretty much tells off his mom and he tells everyone that his family sucks. And I used to think he was a brat. I was like, this kid's a brat. But as an adult now, as an XJW who's been shunned, I absolutely understand how he feels. And I think it's how everyone should talk to their families around Christmas time when they piss you off. So definitely follow his example. But really, I think, it's a story about a kid who claims that he wants to be alone for Christmas, right? And as XJWs, Christmas can be a tough time, right? Because we don't have connections or with our old friends and family. And Kevin goes through the process where he realizes that, when he gets what he wants and he doesn't have his family, he learns to appreciate the value of having his family. And I think that's a sentiment that we can all relate to as XJWs, and especially around this time of year. So I think that's why that one's number one. But mostly it's number one because my mom would let us watch this film when we were kids because she liked it. And so I thought that was funny. And she could never pronounce Macaulay Culkin's name. She's a native Spanish speaker. So she would just yell across the room. She would yell to me and my brother. She'd say, "Hey, Home Alone," like in Spanish. "Ahí está Home Alone." Like he would just call Macaulay Culkin Home Alone. So it didn't matter what other film.
In fairness, it's a skill that has diminished in necessity since the films were made quite considerably. Being able to pronounce his name, but that's a fantastic rundown. That's brilliant.
Home Alone's number one.
Very good.
I hope you guys enjoy it over the holidays, and that's all I got.
That's
It's funny how
fantastic.
that worked with the how our parents or whoever we were kind of beholden to, if they liked it, they would kind of excuse some of the little elements of paganism.
Oh, fast forward this part.
Yeah. Oh, we can just ignore this. That's fine.
Yeah.
Don't look forward.
Brilliant. Oh, and I apologise, Javi, for my tardiness in failing to show the part that you prepared.
No, it's cool, and I'm sorry I forgot about the copyright stuff.
It's probably going to, the copyright thing, that ship has probably already sailed thanks to Arthur, but never mind.
Oh, okay.
We're being rescued by super chats like Debbie Yule, who says, Happy Christmas and wonderful New Year. Thank you so much, Debbie. Also, one came through from stalwart of the live chat. We have, there we are, Rianne. I'm going to do some cooking. I'll keep listening. Thanks for everything and have a great Christmas and New Year, everyone. Love to all. And we also have another very generous super chat through from It's Me. Yippee Kaye Mofos. Have a great holiday. Well, these mofos are about to have a great last day's quiz.
As one brother put it, stay alive to 75.
Yes, hello and welcome to the last day's quiz, the last day's quiz of 2020 and the ultimate battle of minds. As two teams of today's panelists face off against each other to prove their knowledge of Jehovah's Witnesses and their doomsday propaganda. Now, for today's quiz, we do have a halftime show lined up. Already said it's going to be a mystery performer. What we don't have is Renato to moderate, but I'm hoping that with this particular configuration of teams, moderating may be less in demand than it would otherwise be. I'm going to put it as diplomatically as I can. And so let me just switch Javi down there to the bottom. So Javi and Amanda are on Team Javilicious. And obviously we have Team D'Souza. What I don't have, because Renato isn't here, is a tosser. Is anyone good at tossing who could toss for us?
I don't have a coin.
I don't have a coin.
Anybody else?
Who carries coins anymore?
I've been called many things over the years, and I'm sure I've been called.
Well, I don't have a coin, but I do have an SD card, which obviously has writing on one side and not on the other. So I'm going to do the tossing for today's last day's quiz, and instead. So let's call the writing heads. So let's see, Amanda, do you want head or tails?
Head.
You want head?
Yes.
Okay. And we have tails. So that means that Team D'Souza is going first. Okay. Now, usual rules apply with regards to points being deducted. I will deduct points if there's reasonable suspicion of cheating or insubordination or any hijinks aimed at sabotaging the other team in any way, shape or form.
Would any of us ever be insubordinate? I mean, come on.
Well, you just never know. And quite frankly, Sasha, it's always the quiet ones. Always the quiet ones. And I have got my eye on you.
Okay.
Because Renato's not here, Lloyd is distracted, so I encourage cheating on everyone's part.
I'm going to let that one slip, Ortiz. Okay, so we launch into the first round. They wouldn't write that. I'm going to read 3 quotes from a publication, and you need to tell me which one I have made up, which one is fake. The first publication is from 1932. I'm sure you're all familiar with it. It's this one here by Rutherford, Health and Life.
Oh, I was just reading that this morning over coffee.
Yeah, a Watchtower classic, I like to think. So you probably know it all back to front and sideways. So you'll know which quote is fake. Quote number 1, and this is for Team D'Souza. Women the world over become increasingly prideful and haughty, imposing themselves on affairs over which our Creator in his wisdom bestowed authority to man. It is so bad that there is even now a Mother's Day on which mothers are lavished with attention simply for their duty of childbearing. All such crafty acts inspired by Satan amount to creature worship. That's quote number 1. Quote number 2. Immediately following the great battle of God Almighty, or Armageddon, the Lord will proceed with the judgment of the peoples of the earth. This will be an individual judgment. Never has there been a time of such importance as just now. The Lord is in his holy temple for judgment, and that judgment is in progress. That's quote number 2. Quote number 3. India and China are full of ignorant and degraded race. But in due time, all of these shall be given the truth and cleaned up and given an opportunity to receive life, because God has promised that through Christ, all the families of the earth shall have an opportunity for the blessings of life. Which quote have I made up? Is it 1, 2, or 3?
2.
Damn, they all could be so Watchtower-esque or so Rutherford-esque. I do know...
I can't see Lloyd saying something so inflammatory as number 1.
Oh no, that's
that's legitimate. That's real.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's no way to Deanna would let you get away with that one, Lloyd.
But as to whether it came from that book or not, because Rutherford, as we know, was rather a misogynist. So did it come from that book?
Okay, all right.
I will defer to you in the spirit of suggestion 1. I will actually defer to you to answer this.
I'm going to say 2 because I take your point that it might not be in that particular booklet. I still think 2.
All right.
Is that your final answer?
Yes, lock it in. Oh my God, look at those eyebrows.
Okay, Daddy.
Team D'Souza, you have chosen as your final answer number 2, and I'm here to tell you, you are incorrect. The fake quote was quote number 1, because I'm not a racist. Unlike Rutherford, who clearly was and clearly thought that people from India and China are a degraded race. I was never going to write that.
So booklet didn't have quote 1, or that quote 1 was completely made up?
Quote 1 was inspired by other things that Rutherford has said.
Yeah, wow. You did well.
Yeah.
I'm really worried about your ability to write Watchtowerese, Lloyd. I really am.
So, looks like I'm back up and running and fooling my panelists, but will my winning streak continue as we move over to Team Havalicious? We are going to be peering into this well-known book, Divine Victory, Its Meaning for Distressed Humanity. I know that's a favourite of all of you.
That's an easy read.
So this was published in 1973. I'm going to read you 3 quotes. Just a quick reminder, no looking at the live chat, no Googling or anything. You need to tell me which quote I have made up. Quote number 1. The war is bound to begin at some time. In this case, it is Almighty God that sets the time for this war at Armageddon. Since we do not know his exact time, but there is every good reason to know that it is near, we should not think of taking our own time to make a decision. If we find ourselves not to be on the side of Almighty God and his messianic kingdom, then we may sincerely desire to make a switch of sides. Otherwise, we may decide to stay put and take the consequences. Quote 1, quote 2. Only on God's side can you be assured of divine victory. Do you delight in the prospect of seeing God's enemies slain from one end of the earth clear to the other end? If so, then take heart. That glorious day will soon be upon us. That's quote 2. Quote 3. The kings of the earth and their armies and their supporters are killed by the sword of the war of the great day of God the Almighty. and their bodies lie slain on the battlefield of Armageddon for scavenger birds to feed upon the fleshy parts of such carcasses. But those on the side of the King of Kings will be spared and will survive. Which quote have I made up? Quote 1, 2, or 3?
That's tough. That's hard. The last one was kind of tough too, but I did think it was probably number 1 just because number 3 was so egregious. And but yeah, no, this one's tough.
So we have to pick out the fake one, right?
You have to find the fakey quote. Yeah.
Oh, I'm going between 2 and 3.
Yeah. Oh, for me it was 1 and 2. That's funny.
Because 3 was like, the description of the violence was like a Tarantino film. Man.
Both quotes use the word Armageddon, and I feel like that word might just be like a disguise. The use of that word. But I don't know. What are you thinking? What are you leaning more toward?
My gut says 3.
3? Let's go with 3. Let's do it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right, we say 3.
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
Are you having a stroke, Lloyd?
Quite possibly. I'm here to tell you, you are incorrect. The fake quote was actually quote number 2.
Wow.
So,
I'm with you guys with number 3 because it sounded like that was a culmination or a combination of every Watchtower cliche comment under the sun.
No, Watchtower can claim the scavenger birds. Yeah. So yes, it seems I'm back on my winning streak now of fooling my panelists with my excellent command of Watchtower lingo. So both teams on nil point, as they say in France. So we move swiftly on to Songs of Doom, and we begin with Team D'Souza. So Team D'Souza, complete the lyric, and we're taking them, by the way, from this songbook, Sing to Jehovah, published in 2009, I think. Complete the lyric. Sing out with joy of heart, you two can have a part.
I know this one.
Live for the day when you'll say
life without end at last.
Correct.
Hey!
2 points there.
JW funeral.
Yeah, that's right.
Now that the teams have started acquiring points, I've suddenly realised I don't have a pen. But
here, you can borrow mine. Here.
Thank you, Sasha. You've not really thought that one through, have you?
No.
So I'm just going to write them on the screen.
Just pass it along, Sasha, and I'll pass it on.
Sure.
So we move across to Team Havalicious. Complete the lyric. Jehovah is our refuge, our God in whom we trust.
All right, no.
His shadow provides us shelter, abide in it we must.
Correct.
Yes.
Correct. Well done.
Well done.
Or should I say, shame on you.
That's great.
For remembering that lyric.
But the audio cut off and I didn't hear anything.
You picked up points without even being in the game. Well done there. Happy. So we move back to Team D'Souza. Complete the lyric. Let the heavens rejoice, let the earth joyful be.
For Jehovah God is now the King. No, hang on.
Yeah. Would you like to sing that for us, please? Or could you please?
Let the heavens rejoice, let the earth joyful be.
For Jehovah God has become the King.
Correct. That's it.
Thank you. And I knew the song and the melody perfectly. I just wanted you to grace us with your, voice of an angel.
Shame on you, Sasha. Where are you?
Javi has just said he's going to reconnect, so...
Okay. I just want to linger a little bit on your shame.
Look at all that shame.
This is Sasha. Don't be like Sasha.
It's a public service announcement for you from the last live stream.
Yeah. Okay, so we move back to... Is it Team Havalicious?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, complete the lyric. Throw your burden on Jehovah. He himself will you sustain.
He will never let you falter, but will help you firm remain.
I am going to give you that, Amanda, because I give one word latitude. So
What
you're
was
allowed
it?
to get one word wrong, and you did get one word wrong. It's
Totter.
he will never let you totter,
Totter.
not falter. But
Right.
again, you got it. So well done.
A word we often use in day-to-day vocabulary, don't we?
Can I just
Careful,
say,
Potter.
Javi, your team member is pulling in the points.
She's on her own on this one. 'Cause I
I
I'm
think-
lucky this time.
I think you owe Amanda a drink at some point.
Yes,
yes,
I need one after
definitely
this.
a shot of Macallan's for sure.
We move back to Team D'Souza with both teams finely poised in today's quiz. Complete the lyric. Steadfast we all need to be, far from this world we keep free.
As we feed on God's truth and keep integrity.
Correct. Correct.
Aren't these lyrics so childlike and the melodies so childlike?
Frankly, you should all be ashamed of yourselves.
Yeah.
Everyone's thinking, how pathetic are these panelists?
They're stuck in your head.
I'm just saying, that's what everyone's thinking, you know?
I need to take a bath in some hand sanitizer.
Or maybe some face scrub.
Yeah.
Javi can help you out there.
I got you covered, man. I have a big old 5-gallon tub. So.
Send it over.
Team Havalicious, for the last question of this round, complete
Oh, you, Amanda.
the lyric. What will you bring Jehovah's kingdom?
Triumph of truth and righteousness.
Correct.
And what else? Okay, yeah.
Oh, you keep going.
No, don't keep going, because he's going to ding you for one word.
Can't believe I know these.
No, that's enough. That is sufficient. So both teams taking maximum points from that round. So you're both on 6 points each. And it's at this point that we have the halftime show, and we must bring on our mystery performer. Our mystery performer, I can reveal, is me.
Oh,
What?
In a surprise twist. So,
Get ready for this one. Huh?
okay, so here's the deal. Yeah, I thought I'd do a Christmas song. And rather than doing like karaoke music, I thought I'd try and do it on my guitar. So you're just going to have to bear with me a little bit. Hang on, let me just tweak a few things. I want to get rid of the overlay because I want to be able to... I think we should all be able to see Sherry and Javi. There we are. That's much better. So bear with me one moment. I do need just a few seconds to set up. Talk amongst yourselves.
This
What do
is-
you think he's going to sing?
Oh, yeah.
Christmas
Good idea.
Carol?
Is it
Any
going to be an
comments
original?
for live chat? Hmm.
Now, I happen to know, because I know him very well, probably too well, that Javi has a lovely pair of bongos. And as this song continues,
The instrument.
Are you sure?
as this song continues, if Javi fancies getting out his bongos, because he may, if he wants to join in towards the end, feel free to do so. Just let me get to the end because I'm a bit nervous, and then feel free to join.
They're all in the garage right now, so I would have to go rummage.
Your bongos aren't on your person.
I usually walk around with them, but
Okay.
yeah.
Right, so, yeah, if you want to sing along towards the end, feel free to do so. It's Christmas time. There's no need to be afraid. At Christmas time, you can turn on the lights and celebrate. And though our world ain't perfect, it don't need to be destroyed. Learn the truth about the truth this Christmas time. But spare a thought for the young ones. At Christmas time, it's hard when they're not having fun. There's a world outside the window that's not a world of dread and fear, where children are protected, not left to suffering and tears. And the Christmas bells that ring there aren't the clanging chimes of doom. A God of love would punish them instead of you. And there's millions stuck inside a cult this Christmas time. The greatest gift they'll get is to live their lives. Whoa, but the slave makes them wallow in never-ending guilt and woe. Do they know it's not the end times at all? Here's to Tony, raise a glass of Macallan's. Here's to Steve and his fake warm welcomes. Do they know it's not the end times at all? Free the friends, let them know it's not the end times, and free the friends. Let them know it's not the end times, and free the friends. Let them know it's not the end times, and free the friends. Let them know it's not the end times at all.
Brilliant.
Oh, dude, knocked it out of the park. Wow.
Yes.
I ran and got my cajon.
Did you get your bongos? I didn't hear them.
My bongos are away, but I got my...
I was listening out for Javi's bongos, and they were never there. But yeah, so
brilliantly created, lovely job.
Man.
Thank you. I like the idea of maybe. I mean, I don't know whether I'm going to manage it, but if there's a possibility, I'm going to see if I can try and maybe do what's the name? Do that as a proper video, maybe with some collabs with people. I don't know whether I'm going to have the time this year, but. If not this Christmas, maybe next Christmas. Yeah.
That would be awesome.
At least duet with Arthur.
What's that? Sorry.
I want to see the duet with Arthur on that song.
Anyway, so moving on to the next round of the quiz, I need to let's go back to the original shot, because it's time for the fanny pack of facts. In this round, we plunge our jaws into the forbidden fruit that is the fanny pack of facts. sparing not a moment's thought that by wantonly gorging on its tasty nuggets of insignificant information about Watchtower history, we publicly degrade ourselves, leaving our reputations and credibility in tatters. But just as a real fanny pack makes a poor substitute for a loincloth due to its lack of figure-hugging properties, the zippy lips of the fanny pack of facts have been known to stray from the abdomen of truth and dangle precariously and invitingly into the realm of lies and nonsense. Our teams must decide which of its utterances are true and which are false. Who writes this filth?
You should give that guy a raise.
I'm sorry. I should vet these things. I don't have time. Anyway, fanny pack of facts.
Fanny pack erotica.
So who's first? It's Team D'Souza, isn't it? True or false? Team D'Souza. Honey is a gentle...
Yes, dear.
Honey is a gentle laxative, according to a 1977 Awake article. Is it true or is it false?
Oh, damn, I don't know how they're using it. But
No.
I think you can stick it up there.
Surely not. 1977.
Winter.
Mind you, they did have that little segment at the end of the magazines, like from around the world, little tidbits of news, and I don't know, babe. What do you reckon?
I don't know.
This is the Watchtower Society we're talking about.
I know. And they've said some very wacky things. If it was in the 30s, 40s, I would have said yes. I don't know. They still could have come out with stupid stuff in the 70s.
Well, the 70s was also the era of Stay Alive till 75 and all those wacky things. So, yeah, look, what's a bit of honey between that? Yeah, true.
Between what?
Team D'Souza, I'm taking as your final answer true, and I'm here to tell you are correct.
Whoa!
Wow.
1977 Awake. Honey is especially good for little ones. It is a gentle laxative and can be used safely for babies, starting with a half teaspoonful a day. Spiritual food there. Spiritual
I think
food.
honey, if I'm not mistaken, is one of those things you're not supposed to introduce to babies because of the potential bacteria or whatever you can be introducing them.
Wow.
This is actually really bad advice.
Yes.
Who knew there could be bad advice in Watchtower propaganda?
Well, never.
Shocking.
Right?
Shocking revelations on the last day's live stream today. So, Team Havalicious, true or false? Masturbation might clog up arteries, according to a 1980 Awake. Is it true?
Clog up arteries?
Is it true or is it false?
We've lost time here.
Listen. I have so many jokes.
If that were true, you would think Harvey wouldn't be alive by now. But...
we would have all had heart attacks at 13.
Oh dear.
Trigger warning.
It sounds like the kind of thing that they would say, but also they said a lot of really weird things about masturbation. Like, wasn't giving you hairy hands and making you gay one of those things that they said about masturbation at one point?
It's up there with the Mormons one about the little factory and how your little factory shouldn't be. Yes. Do some research, people. Anti-Mormon stuff. Wow.
Listen, if that were true, there'd be no Bethelites. I'm just saying. This is what I'm saying. Every Bethelite would be 18, and that's it. Oh man.
So did they say that though? Do you think?
You have to tell me. I'm asking you the question, Amanda, and you have to tell me whether it's true or false. Whether they actually wrote it.
I think they may have said that. I think they're crazy enough to say that. Well, see, I just don't know if it's clogged arteries. That just seems insane. Who would believe that? For even a second.
That seems, even for Watchtower, that seems too insane to me. But
Yes. So are we gonna go with false? Are we gonna go with false? Do you think?
So you think it's true?
I don't. I just clogged arteries. It's difficult to.
You know what? Okay, all right. I know like our group's sense of humor, and if that had been true, we would have been cracking jokes on this a long time ago. Like,
yeah, it's got to be false, right? Got to be false.
Don't read that and forget that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't come across that little nugget and just be like, "Oh yeah, I forgot they said that one time." No, we would have been cracking jokes on it, and
but there was so much fear around.
I'm gonna have to press you for a final answer.
Okay, I'm going with false.
Okay, false.
With false, but
okay. I'm taking as your final answer false, and before I reveal whether it's correct or not, I need to thank Nicole Moore Parker for a wonderful super chat. Thank you very much. Merry Christmas, Lloyd. Thank you for these live streams this year. So much fun. Thank you so much, Nicole. We return to the last day's quiz, in which Team Havalicious has just said that the answer is false. I'm here to say it is true. In a 1980 awake, in a section headed Sex and Your Health, British pathologist Dr. Malcolm Carruthers is quoted extensively, and his quote is a bit muddled. But commenting on masturbation, it says, finally, he comments on the unsatisfactory nature of masturbation. Psychiatrists say that it is basically an aggressive act toward oneself, usually induced by frustration, as the term self-abuse suggests. The noradrenaline release is therefore likely to be relatively large, and little of the consequent rise in blood fats used up in the muscular activity involved. He points out that since such blood fats clog arteries, there might be some truth after all in the old sayings about physical ill effects of masturbation.
Oh my god!
Amazing.
I'm surprised we've missed that. Like, how would we not talk about this before?
That's spiritual food through Jehovah's channel.
Who knew that we should all by rights be dead by now? Moving over to Team D'Souza. True or false? Charles Taze Russell once commented that a lack of facial hair on a mature adult male may denote a lack of wisdom and maturity. Is it true or is it false?
A lack of facial hair. Okay, so we're talking pre-Rutherford eras.
Well, Charles Taze Russell, he had quite the beard.
He did. He was rocking it. I'm
going to hazard a guess that that's true.
But were there ever pictures of the early J-Dubs or the Bible students where men were beardless in the Russell era? If so, then that would negate that. All right, it's up to you, babe.
Oh, don't throw it at me.
I know Russell loved his beards. I don't know if he ever would have gone as far as saying that.
Something about it.
So I'm going to go.
Although it makes the story more intriguing because Rutherford was so against it. If Russell was known to have such an opinion and Rutherford was beardless, maybe it was something that fueled his angst about that.
Yeah, maybe Rutherford just couldn't grow a beard. The guy had no ability.
I mean, who knows? Who knows? Maybe they were,
I'm going to have to press you for an answer.
I like the idea of it being true, just for that fact.
Lock in true.
Team D'Souza, you have answered true. I'm here to tell you, you are incorrect. It's false. I made it up. So we move over to Team Havalicious with an opportunity to level the scores. Actually, Renato, if you're watching along, which, shame on you if you're not. I can't remember what the scores are for this. Is it 5 points for each correct one? Please let me know in the live chat. Or better still, get your arse in here. Team Havalicious. According to a 1989 Awake, a person's eyelash can sometimes be home to pubic lice. Is it true or is it false?
Whoa.
This one might be a trick.
Lice in your eyelashes.
This one might be a trick because you can have lice on your eyelashes, and you can have those little.
Harvey clearly knows a lot about this.
Hey.
Does the apricot scrub get rid of it?
The apricot scrub actually kills the lice.
Right.
So,
That's the magic of the scrub.
rub it on your head if you. But I think he's throwing us off with the pubic lice.
Pubic lice, like how? That's yeah. So you're thinking false?
I'm going
It's
to let you
crazy,
decide
though.
because I think I pulled you away from the right answer last time. So I'll go with whatever you think is right now.
How can you get pubic lice in your eyes?
Well, after you've masturbated, I'm sure.
It would be an interesting position, wouldn't it?
Well, after you've clogged your arteries.
Hey, Renato.
Hello, Renato. Finally.
Hey!
I'm sorry I'm working.
It's okay. You know, your treachery is noted. Please continue with whatever it is you need to do. So anyway, true or false, Team Havalicious? Pubic lice in the eyelash.
Wait, that's what we're talking about?
Yeah, it's a long story.
I'm glad I joined.
You know, I'm still gonna go with
I know
you.
all about this. You guys need help? Or?
What did you decide?
I think maybe we should go with false, but I'm only going with that because that was what your instinct was, and I want to go with your instinct. But I don't really know, so let's just go with false, for the sake of time.
I concur.
Okay, excellent. False. Final answer.
Team Havalicious, you have chosen as your final answer false. I'm here to tell you, you are incorrect. It's true.
Damn it.
God, they said that.
Why are we
The pubic louse, which is transmitted through intimate sexual contact, is
With your
found in
eyes?
coarse hair in the pubic area, under armpits, in beards and moustaches, and occasionally in eyelashes. It is
told you I know
shorter
about
and
this.
shaped like a small crab, hence its nickname, the crab louse. Spiritual food there. Spiritual food at the proper time in the publications of Jehovah's Organization.
I told you I knew about this. You guys should have asked me.
So is it, Renato, since
sir.
you know more about this quiz than I do, even though I invented it,
Yeah.
is it 5 points for each correctly answered one in the fanny pack?
Yes,
Or
and I
fact?
have the full scores after 3 rounds.
Oh, you're keeping... Oh, well done. Impressive.
Yeah.
So can you please tell us the full scores at this point in the competition?
So after 3 rounds, Team D'Souza is in the lead with 11 points, and Team Havalicious is not in the lead because they have 6.
Okay. And as we enter the final round, since you do such a splendid job of giving this all some perspective, could you just remind us of how many wins Team Havalicious has in this competition
Let's-
versus
Oh man,
Team
hang
D'Souza?
on, hang on. It's a lot. So there's the there's that one. Sorry, 0. Yeah, they don't. And Team D'Souza has 1 win so far.
Okay, interesting. So we go into the final
I can't
round.
even talk trash.
Apocalypse Delayed can turn everything on its head because each correctly answered question is worth a whopping 10 points. Question number 1, and this is for Team D'Souza. In what year was the following printed? So the Most High God has promised to take action to bring to ruin those ruining the earth. He will do this soon at the universal war of Armageddon, called the War of the Great Day of God the Almighty. This righteous war will settle the great issue, that of Jehovah's universal sovereignty. Satan, who knows his remaining time is short, will not escape. Was that printed in 1958, 1978, or 1998?
Boy. That was a best of all of their cliches, and
I was thinking it sounded Revelation book-like, but that's not any of those dates.
oh yeah, 58 no, sorry.
Yeah, 58, 78, 98.
Okay, so it's not Revelation book 58.
It could be any, honestly, or it could be all three.
Yes, I wonder if they've ever reprinted a paragraph verbatim in the magazine. 78, please.
Team D'Souza, I'm taking as your final answer 1978, and I'm here to tell you your answer is incorrect. It was actually 1958, The Watchtower of April 15th, page 255. We switch across to Team Havalicious, who will tell me, hopefully, we don't know, but maybe, the year in which this was printed. The years remaining now before God arises against his enemies at Armageddon are critical years, making very advisable a right decision on the part of everyone. Rebukes will be administered at Armageddon, and for one to be rebuked there will mean one's destruction. Was that printed in 1957, 1967, or 1977?
$1967, I think. I'm not exactly sure why. That's just the one that I'm leaning toward. What do you think, Abby?
Can you read that like as you were singing it?
There is no melody.
Is this not the right one? Okay. I thought we
that
were
I'm
on the
aware
wrong
of. That's a different round.
Yeah, sure. What the hell? 1967. Let's go with that. That's
Team Havalicious, you have given as your final answer 1967. I'm here to tell you, you are correct.
Yes!
It is 1967.
That instinct. Yes!
You've won yourselves 10 points, and perhaps at this juncture, with only one question remaining for both teams, Renato can tell us where the scores stand.
So Team Havalicious has taken the lead with 16 points. Team D'Souza has 11, which means that if Team D'Souza gets the next question incorrectly, Team Havalicious get their first win of the season.
Ooh.
Why you gotta say that like all unhappy though? Like because we're in the league, huh?
No, I'm my professional broadcaster voice.
He's just being impartial, Javier. Don't take it personally. Jeez. Chill, man.
If you're nervous, that's what happens when you want to win too much. You start turning on people.
Next, he'll be questioning the results of this quiz and taking us to court in Pennsylvania.
You want to sue Pennsylvania? What do I want to do?
Team D'Souza, give me the correct year in which this was printed. With so little time remaining and with judgments already underway, why put off doing God's will? Children, obey your Christian parents. Parents, bring up your children in the discipline and authoritative advice of Jehovah. Was that printed in 1953, 1963, or 1973?
Discipline and authoritative. Goodness, that's trigger words. Mental regulating of Jehovah. Sounds 70s-ish, babe.
It sounds all of them-ish.
Well, that's true. Look, it's it's only our ability to win this quiz on the line.
That's right.
So,
if we don't get it right, we can claim we've been magnanimous and graciously giving the victory to
good things, bad things.
Yeah.
TM, trademark. I'm getting all Watchtower on your ass now, Amanda.
Next thing I'll get a hate speech letter and
Cease and desist.
So, 1953, 1963, or 1973?
63. 63, lock it in. I'm going to be confident. You know, I just, the road to victory is one full of confidence.
You tell him, Sasha.
Team D'Souza, I'm taking as your final answer 1963, and I'm here to tell you, you are correct.
Whoa!
Whoa!
Made the quiz great again.
Meaning that, if I'm not mistaken, Renato, Team Havalicious has to get this right to win.
No pressure.
It comes down to the very last. See, Javi, professional. I'm not happy you're losing. It comes down to the very last question, and Team Havalicious needs this one to get their first win of the season. Good luck.
I think it's fair to say, isn't it, Renato, that Team Havalicious, they need to lose just a little bit of the sass. There's just a smidge too much sass for our liking. Would that be fair?
I mean, they're probably hating me right now, so I'm not going to say anything bad about them. So good luck to you guys.
We will not be intimidated.
Okay, then we'll just sass it up.
If we go down in flames, Amanda. Let's give them all the sass we got.
I command you to give me the correct year in which this was printed. The Bible at Revelation 12:12 says that these woes come from the devil, because the words of the great prophet Christ Jesus are these: Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and to the people, for the devil is come down unto you, knowing that he hath but a short time. A short time for what? A short time to prepare for the great battle of God Almighty, the battle of Armageddon, which is just ahead. Was that printed in 1927, 1937, or 1947?
Oh, tough. I thought the word hath was going to give it away, because I was like, it's definitely old, because they've been using has since I was a kid, for sure, in that scripture.
So the choices are 27, 37, and 47?
Yeah. 27? Think for yourself, though. What were you leaning toward? Oh.
If you'll indulge me. What year was that little book that you showed up written?
The book from earlier was 1932. This one, if that's what you mean.
That goes my theory.
Did you say Armageddon or Harmageddon in that question? Was it?
A question from the other team.
You know what?
It's actually
Amanda, you scored all the points for our team on this one.
Oh, but don't make me let us down.
No. You scored every point, so you are not letting anyone down, even if you got it wrong.
All right, let's go with that. Let's go with 27 then.
Team Havalicious, you have chosen as your final answer on the final question of the final last day's quiz of 2020. 1927. I'm here to tell you, you are incorrect. It was actually 1937.
Amanda, it's all your fault. How did you do
Meaning that Team D'Souza has won today's quiz.
I nominate Abby for the challenge. Throwing you right under the bus. I did it last time.
Commiserations to Team Havalicious, who have yet to register a victory in this competition.
In true biblical form,
it's a badge of honor that I cannot get any of these right.
That's the way to look at it. That's the way to look at it. You should hold your head high, Javier. Your mind is more uncluttered than all of our minds when it comes to Watchtower nonsense. That's the way to think of it.
Sucking at the quiz is a really good thing.
I tend to agree with that, for sure, especially with the song part.
Yeah.
So, Team D'Souza, you get to pick a forfeit for Team Havalicious out of, what was it? Do they say a prayer? Do they sing a song? Does Javi read an embarrassing Bible verse? Or wear a head covering for the final few seconds of the show?
Well, we've got the head coverings covered already.
Amanda's already got a head covering.
And so I'm thinking, and Sherry, feel free to counter this, but there's nothing more appropriate than when a woman says a prayer with a head covering on. So I think the team should do a combined prayer, maybe first verse Harvey, second verse Amanda, and a bit of a Taja.
We'll just improv a prayer. You say if you were
Sasha
having
is evil. He's showing his evil streak here, isn't he?
So that's what we have to do?
I'll start.
You gotta pray for forgiveness.
Yes, dear cult leader in heaven. We humbly beg your forgiveness for not knowing your crazy indoctrination well enough. You take it, Happy.
Oh, okay. Dear God, please never let me have to do this quiz show ever again. Yay, Christmas.
Wonderful.
Yay, mother effer.
I thought you were going to thank him for having a lovely set of bongos.
And on that smutty bombshell, the show comes to an end, really. Thank you for joining us at the death there, Renato.
Yes,
it's been a fantastic show. I really appreciate everyone's participation.
It was a lot of fun.
Brilliant.
It was great. And
Fun
are
to
you going to
everybody.
sing us out?
Happy holidays, everyone.
Yeah.
Yes. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas.
I apologise for not keeping up with the live chat has just been alive through this. There's currently 197 watching across Twitter, Twitch, and Facebook. We are taking a break now so that we can enjoy Christmas and New Year with our families, but we will be back with a bang in 2021, assuming that 2020 allows us all to survive that long. So the next show, oh good grief, I've lost my bearings. The next show will be on January the 6th, I think.
I think so.
Yeah, Wednesday, January the 6th will be our first show of 2021. Please do join us for that. And yeah, just a fantastic panel. Thanks so much as well to Lisa Burberry for the super chat. Thanks to everyone for the super chats. The live streams don't tend to, they're not usually monetizable. So yeah, that's very much appreciated. But look, it's been a hugely fun show and a hugely fun season thus far. Do tune in January for the remainder of season 2. All that remains is to wish you all a very Merry Christmas and a happy and prosperous New Year. We will see you in 2021. Stay safe, stay positive, and we'll see you in the next show. Take care.
Bye.
Bye everyone.
Bye.